We welcome you back live to City of Palms Park. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but we believe we have our stream back up and running, and we thank you for tuning back in here from Fort Myers. 1-1, we're in the top of the second inning. Tyler Acosta is the batter for the State College of Florida, with left-hander Rafael Santos on the mound for the Buccaneers. Second and third, just one out, as this one is sliced foul off the right side, 1-1. The Manatees have set the table in this inning with two infield errors. A fielding error on Thomas Bennett on what was a pretty routine ground ball, and then two errors on the same play charged to Josh McAllister at third base. Grounder by Long that he tried to charge, snuck under his glove. The 1-1 is down and in for ball two. Then he tried to go reach back, pick it up, throw to first, and he pulled Nate Kinch off the bag, who couldn't quite reach it, and the ball went into the camera well. So three infield errors in a two-batter span, and it's second and third with one out for the State College of Florida. 2-1 is fouled back for a strike. We believe we had the stream going for the first couple of batters, but if you missed it at the onset, we welcome you in. 65 degrees on a balmy night here in Fort Myers. We expect things to drop into the 50s before the end of the game tonight. These two division rivals facing off for the second meeting of 6 this year. Here comes the infield for the Buccaneers. The 2-2 sits high, ball 3. We'll reset the defense for your Florida Southwestern Bucks. In the outfield, left to right, Tyler Solomon, Victor Florentino, and Mikey Burke. Then on the infield, you heard from the two men on the left side, McAllister at third, Bennett the shortstop. Jose Marcano man second with Nate Kinch anchoring first. Shamir Morales does the catching this evening, working with Santos as the fastball just missed high for ball 4. It's a one-out walk to load the bases. And the 9-hitter coming up, Colin Moore, the third baseman for SCF. SCF got a run in the first inning. Brian Dillingham was hit by a pitch with one out. Then Bryce Hewlett doubled to the left field corner to put runners at second and third with one out. Giovanni Lorenzo then hit a grounder to third, in which McAllister made the 5-3 putout. Meanwhile, Dillingham scored the first run. That one's in for a strike to Moore. On the back end of the play, Hewlett was thrown out at third base trying to advance on the throw across the diamond, but the run did come across and it did count, so they got the one run. I don't believe Lorenzo gets credit for an RBI because it was a double play. The 0-1 is pulled foul up the third base side, strike 2 on Moore. FSW responded with a run of their own in the bottom of the first against his former Vanderbilt teammate, Tyler Solomon, hooked a double into the right field corner, then moved to third base on a balk by Aaron Brown, the SCF pitcher. And with nobody out, Mikey Burke grounded out to shortstop to drive in Solomon and tie the game at 1. 0-2 is cranked out to deep left field. Solomon will have to play it in the corner. One run is in, Long right behind him, and into second with a 2-run double is Colin Moore. 3-1 Manatees. And just 2 innings in, they've already surpassed their run total from Monday. Both of those runs, of course, unearned against Santos. The run in the first was earned. And now he's in some more trouble. Second and third with only one out. And the leadoff man comes to the plate in Shane Shifflett. Shifflett got a hold of one his first time up. Drove it to the warning track in left center. Curveball in for a strike from Santos. But Victor Florentino, the center fielder for the Bucks, made a terrific running catch to take away extra bases from Shifflett. Sophomore from Englewood, Florida. There are quite a few out-of-state players on this SCF team. couple more than the Bucks have, but it's close. Maybe about a third of the roster. As this one is popped up. Left center field could be deep enough to score the run. Solomon is called off by Florentino. The runner tags. The throw to the plate on a couple of hops is not in time. Might have been a ball that Solomon would have had more momentum coming towards the plate on, but Florentino took charge. It's a sacrifice fly for Shane Shifflett, and it's now 4-1 Manatees. So give Shifflett credit for his 14th RBI of the season. That moves him into second place on the team. Now these two clubs have very similar team stats for the year. Here is Brian Dillingham, who scored the first run of the game, and he takes the breaking ball low. If you missed it at the beginning, the Manatees are 15-8. Florida Southwestern at 19-3. So these are the two best teams in the 6-team division right now. Santos ready, spins, throws to second. Did they get him? Yes. Santos picks off Colin Moore to get through the inning. But the Manatees strike for 3. 3 runs on just 1 hit. 2 errors, 1 walk, but nobody left. At the end of an inning and a half, it's now SCF 4 and FSW 1. John Vitas, welcoming you back to City of Palms Park. Happy to have you along tonight for this Suncoast Conference matchup, 2 of the better junior college teams in the state of Florida. Bottom of the second, we've had a lot of offense so far, at least in terms of runs. Only 3 hits, but 5 runs. The State College of Florida, Manatee Sarasota leads it 4-1 as Jose Marcano leads it off for your Bucks. Aaron Brown back to work for SCF. As we mentioned earlier, a transfer from Vanderbilt. That one's outside for ball 1. The numbers are a little misleading for Brown. He has been tremendous in 5 of his 6 outings. The 1-0. That one's low, clanking off the glove of Crouch, 2-0. Altogether, when you include his entire body of work this year, Brown has made 7 starts now. So through the first 6, he's 3-1 with a 4.45 ERA. Breaking ball in the dirt, 3-0 on Marcano. But he had 1 blow-up outing in which he allowed 10 runs against Chipola College. That accounts for 2/3 of the runs he's given up all year. In the other 5 starts, he has been lights out. That one is up high, ball 4, and Marcano draws a leadoff walk.
Hitting 6 for the Bucks,
Now it'll be Florentino with Morales due up after that. So the ERA for Brown in his other 5 outings is right around 2. The strikeout to walk numbers are fantastic. 45 strikeouts in 30 innings of work against just 6 walks. So that free pass to Marcano is a rarity. He takes his lead as Florentino watches a fastball on the outside corner at the knees for strike 1. Brown will deal with 7 righties, only 2 lefties in this FSW lineup. And that may have been a balk, but they didn't call it on Brown, who never threw to first. I don't know if he properly stepped off, but they didn't call it, as Florentino was well late on that fastball strike 2. You can tell that Brown had SEC type of scholarships offered to him because he throws really hard. He's got a pitcher's body, listed at 6'4", 205 as he throws over. Went to Mount Juliet High School in Tennessee, then stayed in his home state to pitch at Vanderbilt, and made 11 relief outings for the Commodores last year as Florentino skies one over the right side. 6 of those 11 outings for Brown were scoreless. Had 2 scoreless innings against both Western Kentucky and Evansville last year. Got a win against Presbyterian and decided to transfer down to the JUCO level where he will be draft eligible after the season. 0-2 is fouled back by Florentino. Brown was all-region and all-state at Mount Juliet. Member of Team Tennessee. And played with quite a few of his future Vanderbilt teammates in high school on some showcase teams. Runner goes, and it's popped up. Left center field, the outfielders come on in. Acosta lost the hat, but he makes the catch in shallow center to dispose of Florentino.
Batting 7th, the catcher, number 15, Shifflett.
So now Morales with 1 out, and Marcano still at first. Buccaneers have to chip away now, down by 3. Not an easy task to put up a crooked number against a guy like Brown who has terrific stuff. From the stretch, the pitch to the Bucs catcher is hammered deep down the right field line, tailing away on Deneen, but it's a foul ball onto the berm, strike 1. In his last outing, Brown was brilliant against Pasco Hernando, the team that the Bucs played on Saturday. The next day, Brown pitched at home against Pasco Hernando and went 5 scoreless innings. The 0-1 is fouled back, strike 2. Not only did he strike out 5, or he went 5, he struck out 10. So 10 Ks in 5 innings, 0 walks, and only 2 hits allowed. So a dominant outing for Brown against a Pasco Hernando team who does have 8 wins this year and who did give FSW some trouble on Saturday. He's ahead on Morales. The 0-2 is hit well out to right. Playable, though, for Deneen, who eases towards the corner, and he reaches up to make the catch. Marcano tags, went about a quarter of the way to second and held on. So 2 down now for Thomas Bennett. So 2 former SEC players facing off here. Bennett was at Kentucky last season. McAllister on deck, and then the top of the order after that. Spin and a throw, and it gets away. Down the line, a hard carom. Is Marcano going to try for second? No. So an E1 already our 4th error of the game. That's a break for the Bucks. They can get a run with a base hit. Brown delivers. Strike. Snap throw to second is on target, but late as Marcano hurried back to second. Mentioned it at the onset, but I'm not sure if the stream was working or if you were watching. Yesterday on Monday, the Bucks beat this SCF team 9-1. So this is the second meeting out of 3 this week. Bennett late on a high fastball 0-2. Ryan Gusto struck out 5 over 5, gave up just 1 run, earned himself the win to improve to 3-0. Mark Davis a scoreless 6th inning. And then Robert Wiggleneck struck out 5 in 3 scoreless innings to earn his 2nd save of the year. Now Bennett calls for time. Tyler Solomon was the first, or rather second Buccaneers hitter to get to 3 home runs. He hit a solo shot in the game, also walked twice. Connor Bagneski drove in 3 runs, and FSW won that game 9-1. That one's outside for a ball. So the rotation, at least at the beginning of conference play, shapes up with Gusto as the ace after he began the year in the bullpen. Santos gets the game 2 start here today, and then Jesse Ferreira on Friday. 1-2 is pulled up the third base line. Waiting for it is Moore. Has to hurry the throw across the diamond, and he makes it accurately to end the inning. Brown able to work around a leadoff walk, and he puts up a 0 to hold down the lead. We'll move to the 3rd. It's 4-1 SCF. We bring you back live to Fort Myers as we begin the 3rd inning. 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Tim Hill II's SCF Manatees. They lead by 3. Brian Dillingham leads it off against the lefty Rafael Santos. First pitch is lined over shortstop. That's going to drop in. A leadoff single for Dillingham. And now Hewlett, who delivered the double in the first. Only 2 hits thus far for SCF, and both of them are doubles. Well, maybe Santos can try and enjoy the reverse strategy of the result of leadoff men. In the first 2 innings, he retired the leadoff man, but then allowed runs to score. This time the leadoff man gets on. Maybe opposite day continues, and he puts up a 0. Rare for him to pitch from the trailing position. Dillingham's got a good lead. That one's well outside to Hewlett for ball 1. Santos, 6'1", 195 pounds, a sophomore from Deerfield Beach, Florida. That one's fouled back on a bounce, 1-1. Went to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. And then we mentioned last year at Broward College, with that 2.89 ERA, he was named an all-state performer as he throws to first. Now, both starters in this game have one thing in common this season, and that is that their best outing came against Pasco Hernando. Santos went 7 scoreless against him, allowed just 3 hits, 1 walk, and struck out 6. That one's high for ball 2. Santos also went 5 scoreless in his last outing at Miami-Dade, a team that had his number earlier in the year. In fact, he's faced them 3 times already. 3 of his 6 outings against Miami-Dade. That one's outside for ball 3. He had 1 good outing, 1 bad outing, and 1 so-so outing. 4 innings, 1 run. And the other 2 were splendid against different opponents. As he throws to first, almost all the runs Santos has allowed this year unearned. He's allowed 7 runs this season, only 3 of them earned. And he's picked off the runner. Kinch makes the throw, and it goes into left field. Oh, the infield defense, a major issue tonight for the Bucs. We have not seen them struggle like this all year. No error. You can't assume that throw, so it'll be a stolen base for Dillingham. So a man in scoring position, nobody out, in a 3-1 count on Hewlett. Santos delivers, and the fastball is lined to short. Bennett makes the catch in the air for the out. That ball was hit hard. And now it'll be Lorenzo, who is their top hitter this year. Lorenzo with a .392 batting average. 5 doubles, 2 home runs, 13 RBIs, and more walks than strikeouts. OPS just a shade below 1,000 as he takes one inside for a ball. That's the highest on-base plus slugging average on the team. Just a shade above Dillingham, whose OPS is above 950. So they're both in that 950 to 1,000 range, and then a big drop-off after that. Backdoor curve is on the corner for a strike. Both of these teams hitting in the 260s this year, both allowing their opponents to bat around 230. Both allowing just over 3 runs per game. This one is lofted out to deep right center. Burke has it measured. He makes the catch falling towards the corner. That allows Dillingham to tag and go to third. 2 outs, though, and it'll be left to Josh Crouch. Out of all the numbers we just gave you, the only one where we can see any sort of a differential, a significant differential, there's 2 stats where the Bucs have the advantage. Walks, they've outwalked SCF 151 to 94 this year. And so the on-base percentage is better, but they've also scored more runs. 7.5 runs per game this year for FSW, only 5 runs per game for the Manatees. That one's high on Crouch for a ball. So basically, at their core, these teams are exactly the same. But the difference is, and the reason the Bucks are a few games better in the standings, is because they've taken advantage of their opportunities. They have been clutch, and they have taken advantage of their opponent's mistakes. This one's driven out to center field, routine for Florentino, and he makes the catch in center to end the inning. Santos works around the leadoff single and hangs his first 0 of the night. We'll head to the bottom of the third. It's 4-1 Manatees.
Number 2, third baseman Josh McAllister.
28 pitches through 2 innings so far for Aaron Brown, the righty for the Manatees. His team in front 4-1 as Josh McAllister bats for the first time. 9-1-2 for Ben Bezier's Buccaneers. McAllister, one of the few returners from last year's Buccaneer team, and he takes one on the outside corner for a strike. Having a nice season with the bat, average sitting at a robust .333. The 0-1. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, strike 2. Of all the Buccaneer players with at least 40 at-bats, and there are 11 of them, McAllister has the least amount of strikeouts, and he pulls this one to third, and it's handled by Moore. Caught it before it hit the dirt. That's a line out for the first out.
Fielder Tyler Solomon.
Now Solomon with 1 out and nobody on. McAllister with only 5 strikeouts this season. Everybody else has 7 or more. Solomon leads the team in strikeouts, but he also leads the team in extra base hits and walks. He has been one of the most important hitters this year for the Bucs, and he swings through a fastball, strike 2. He is the only FSW position player to appear in every game this season. Tonight is number 23 of 23. The 0-2. High for a ball. Buccaneers finished 1 for 8 with a walk first time through against Brown. Solomon had the only hit, a double to the right field corner to start the FSW offensive output. And he rolls this one out to shortstop. Shifflett to his right and in. Makes a running sidearm throw to get him.
Right fielder, Mikey Burke.
5 in a row turned aside by Brown, and now it'll be Burke. Burke has the only RBI for FSW. Drove in Solomon with a ground out his first time up. Burke having a nice season, hitting .274 with a team-high 13 stolen bases, and he looks at strike one. Drove in 2 runs on Monday, also drew 2 walks, on base 3 times. And he watches a strike on the outside edge, strike 2. Well, Brown starting to settle in with his location. He winds and delivers. This one is sliced down the right field line. That will hook out of play. You can see Burke rubbing the hands together. It is a bit chilly tonight. We've had a string of warm home games. Remember, the first weekend of the season, it was in the 50s for a couple of those games. But ever since, it's been 80 degrees or higher just about every time out. But tonight, 65 degrees at first pitch. We could be as low as 55 by the end of the game. I'm sure there are folks watching at home that are experiencing much colder weather than that, but these players are used to some warmer weather. The 0-2 is popped up just over the mound. The right side of the infield comes in. Dillingham is there, and he reaches back to make the grab. A 1-2-3, bottom of the third for Brown. We'll move on to the fourth. It's SCF 4 and FSW 1.
Proud sponsor of FSW Athletics, and they offer lots of extras without the extra cost. Find everything you need for a comfortable and productive stay at this contemporary Florida hotel. Each spacious room and suite at the Hilton Garden Inn of Fort Myers features sophisticated decor with a light and airy atmosphere. Perfect for work or relaxation. Get a perfect night's sleep, enjoy a cook-to-order breakfast or dinner at our on-site restaurant, or grab some snacks from the Pavilion Pantry. When value matters, choose the Hilton Garden Inn of Fort Myers. Leading off, number 3, right fielder, Max Deneen.
Fourth inning here in Fort Myers. Max Deneen leads it off for the Manatees, who are up by 3. And Rafael Santos sizzles a fastball high for ball 1. Nick Long and Tyler Acosta to follow here in the top of the 4th inning. Santos fires, and that one's in for a strike. Deneen swinging over the 2-seamer. The difference in this game was the errors from FSW in the second. 3 infield errors in 1 inning, leading to a 3-run rally. That one's low for a ball. Both teams got 1 run in the first. And now a few zeros in a row as Santos tries to settle in. Brown has done so on the other side. The 2-1 is in the dirt, and it caught the umpire. Brian Van Vraken receiving the brunt of that bouncer. But he is shaking it off. His compadre Matt Stanfield is the base umpire, kind of coming closer to make sure his partner's okay. Van Vraken will tough it out. The 3-1 from Raphael. Rolled to the left side. McAllister has it, goes off his toe and into center field. Florentino pouncing on it. That is the third error of the night for Josh McAllister.
Left fielder, Nick Long.
He is known for his defense. He is hitting very well this year. But a former shortstop, usually a very sure-handed player. But tonight has brought that glove up too quick. That one hit off his left toe and ricocheted all the way into center field. That one sits high on Nick Long, ball one. This is the part of the order where the FSW defense floundered last time around. Deneen and Long both reached on errors. Deneen has reached on an error again. Now it's Long's turn. Bucks at double play depth. Santos throws over. I don't think there's been a game all year where the Bucks got to 4 errors. They're at 4 errors, 4 innings in today. We have a softball on the field. Tyler Solomon feeding it into the corner. The FSW softball team is playing a game as we speak behind the left field wall. The baseball and softball fields adjacent to one another here in downtown Fort Myers. And they had a long foul ball in their game that came onto the baseball field. The 1-0 is downstairs. There won't be any stoppages in the softball game from our game. In order to get a baseball onto that field, he'd have to hit a towering home run better than 350 feet. It's about a 40 to 60-foot gap in between the fences. This one's a fastball, and Long is late 2-1. You can see the chain link fence in left field. You'd have to hit it 50 feet beyond the wall and then over to that chain link fence. We just got another foul ball into left. Santos had to step off again as Solomon feeds another one back to the softballers. Middle pinch together. Kinch holds on Deneen. A 2-1. Just missed the inside edge with a fastball, and now Long is in the driver's seat, 3-1. Well, Santos, ever since he gave up those runs on the Moore double, has come back firing. He's throwing harder than he usually would. Seems to be reaching back for a little more on the fastball, pitching angry as he throws to first. He is not used to losing. It's not necessarily his fault tonight, but he wants to overpower the Manatees hitters. And Santos throws over 3-1, a count that's pretty ripe for running. That was the count in which Santos was able to pick off Colin Moore on in the second. Quick pitch that time, and this one's drilled out to right center. Florentino easing towards the gap will make the catch in deep right center. The runner tags, but thinks better of it as Deneen retreats to first, 1 away. The batter will be Tyler Acosta.
Center fielder, Tyler Acosta.
With Santos now at 52 pitches for the night. Acosta, a 5'11 freshman, and he crushes one foul and out of the stadium, pulled it way out of play. Acosta is one of those out-of-state players for SCF. He is from Barrington, Illinois, where they are comfortably below freezing right now. The 0-1 to Acosta is rolled towards the middle, tailor-made. Bennett will take it to the bag himself, throws on to first to end the inning. 6-6-3, the Buccaneers turn it, and Santos faces the minimum in the fourth. We'll head to the bottom of the frame after this. Still 4-1. You're watching Bucs Baseball. Nate Kinch leads off the home fourth, facing Aaron Brown, the Vanderbilt transfer, who has been terrific thus far, and he pours in strike one. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for FSW. Down by 3. They have just one hit through 3 against Brown, who throws hard. The pitch. A little bit low on a fastball. You can see Brown straight over the top. Has been mostly fastball so far. We've seen a curve and a change as well. Fastball clips the outside corner, strike 2. Out of the line, the pitch to Nate. Rolled towards the hole, but flagged down by Hewlett. Fields with 2 hands, touches the bag, and there's 1 away. 7 in a row retired by Brown. Only at 43 pitches so far. And now it'll be Connor Bagneski. Lined out to center his first time up. And the pitch to him is in for a strike. Bagneski was hit with a pitch last week, and they thought it might be serious. Potential break of a bone, and they thought he could be out for the year. The 0-1 is cranked down the right field line. That's going to drop in towards the corner. Deneen over to dig it out. Bagneski makes the turn and holds on. Deneen did a great job getting to that ball, and he holds Bagneski to a 1-out single. But Connor only missed 1 game, and he came back just 4 days later after being plunked by that pitch. Really, 3 days later. And he is swinging a good bat this season. One of the top hitters on the team, the cleanup man today. And he's got a 1-out base hit. Second hit for the Bucs. And now it's Jose Marcano. And he reaches for 1, loops it over third. That's a fair ball down the line. Digging for third is Bagneski. The throw into second base, and it skips away. Goes beyond Hewlett, and in to score comes Bagneski. Marcano all the way to third, and it's 4-2. A base hit and an error, no RBI. The Buccaneers have sliced the deficit. That was an excuse me swing from Marcano, who was ahead on what ended up being a breaking ball, was able to somehow hold the bat head back and just flick at the baseball with the barrel and dropped it weakly over to third. But actually kind of impressive that he was able to use the wrists and forearms to keep the bat in the zone long enough to make solid contact there. Not sure if that's a single or a double, but either way, it's a base hit. Bagneski went first to third. They'll probably give him a double, I would think, on that little flare over to third base. As this one is sliced down the right field line by Florentino, a foul ball. So Marcano, the base hit. I believe, I can't tell who threw that ball. Might have been an E7. So for now, it is an unearned run against Brown. Score is 4-2 in a big situation here. Bucks can get one run closer on a fly ball. The 0-1 to Victor. It is sliced foul again, right side, 0-2. Shamir Morales on deck, the catcher. I know it's early, but against a guy like Brown, you want to get this third run in right here. The 0-2 reached for, and Florentino stays alive. And don't know how many more chances you're going to get against a guy of his caliber. He's only at 49 pitches, so he'll have a chance to go 6, maybe even 7 here tonight. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on a letter-high fastball, and that's a big strikeout for Brown. All left to Morales.
The catcher, Shamir Morales.
Shamir hitting .325 with 8 walks this season. Hit a couple of balls real well against Brown that went foul. Flew out to deep right his first time up. Brown will go to the windup with a man at third. And this one is popped foul on the right field side. Morales caught the game on Monday as well. It's a much more balanced schedule right now for FSW and conference play, so we'll see more of Morales. He was only starting about half the games in non-conference play because so many of the games came in bunches. They'd play 4 games in 3 days, and he would only start 2 out of the 4. But now that there's more off days and you play 4 out of 7 days, he'll probably start 3 out of 4, you would think. The 0-1 to him is at the knees for a strike. Coach Bezier has praised both of these catchers this year, Crouch and Morales. But on his guy, Morales said he's one of the best receivers he's ever seen. And he can hit as well, but behind in the count in this instance, the 0-2. Fouled back. Brown gave him the same pitch he dealt to Florentino, the 0-2 letter-high fastball, but Morales with a shorter swing was able to get a piece. Brown delivers. Up and away, ball 1. Thomas Bennett would be next. Bucks with 1 run across, trying to add more. The pitch. Nubbed foul off the very end of the bat. Morales rolls one into the Manatees dugout. This, the hardest working inning of the night for Brown, about to throw his 17th pitch. And he steps off. That fastball too high. Eye high on Morales, and it's 2-2. Brown comes home. Swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball in the dirt. Terrific block by Crouch, and he fires a missile over to first to end the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts as Brown bears down and gets himself out of the inning. It'll be an unearned run against him, but the Bucks do get a run back. Base hits from Bagneski and Marcano set it up. And at the end of 4, it's now 4-2 Manatees. Nine, 1, and 2 due up for Tim Hill's team. 7th-year skipper for the State College of Florida. Colin Moore starts things, then Shifflett and Dillingham. A lineup of 8 right-handed bats against the southpaw Rafael Santos. Moore delivered the biggest blow of this game, a 2-run double to left in the second. And he watches a fastball dive outside for ball 1. This one is cranked foul deep down the left field line and out of play. A strike. The 1-1 from Rafael is fouled back, strike 2. That was a big confidence booster for Moore, who began the year struggling. Before today, just 4 for 45 to begin the season. Does have 6 walks, so that on-base percentage is above .250. The 1-2 is ripped into left field, a base hit. Just like I said, the confidence booster. Swinging a whole different bat now. Moore is 2 for 2. So the leadoff man is on for the 3rd straight inning. And we mentioned that reverse results on leadoff men in this game for the Manatees. It's continuing. In the 2 innings in which they got the leadoff man on, they did not score. And the 2 innings where they didn't get the leadoff man on, they did score. So if all holds true, Santos is about to put up a 0. Shifflett, the leadoff man, is at the dish. A .291 hitter. And he watches a curve at the knees for strike 1. Shifflett's flown out to center twice. He's hit both balls relatively well. First one was a deep line drive to the warning track. Second one, a more high-arcing fly ball, but it did drive in a run, a sacrifice fly, as this one's fouled back for strike 2. Both pitchers have their pitch counts in check. As we speak, Santos sits at 60 pitches for the night. And on the other side, through 4 innings, Brown is at 57 pitches. This one is lined into right field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Burke has to play it on a hop. It's an opposite field single for Shifflett, who picks up a base hit with an 0-2 count. And the first 2 Manatees are on base. That'll bring up Dillingham, who's been on base both times. A hit by pitch and a single, as well as a stolen base. Well, the defense has betrayed Santos tonight. But in this inning, he's given up 2 well-struck base hits. One to left, one to right, and now dealing with the two of the best hitters on the team. Coming up next, we mentioned earlier, Dillingham swinging it well, a .395 batting average with a team best 14 stolen bases and only 6 strikeouts in 20 games. Contact is critical here for the Manatees. Corners are in, expecting a bunt. I'm not sure they'll get it. Already up by 2. Not going to waste a 400 hitter with a bunt. Santos comes home, and he got him. Pulled the string on a breaking ball 0-1. McAllister hugging that bag in third as Santos turns to second. Kinch standing in front of the runner, Shifflett, right at the cutout at first. Middle, of course, looking for the double play ball. They set up in, and the curveball dives low. The count levels, 1-1. Got to think that Bucks bullpen might be getting going soon. The 1-1. Pulled towards the hole. That's a base hit into left field. Moore will hold on at third. 3 straight singles to start the 5th. And the State College of Florida has the bases loaded and nobody out. So Dillingham on base for the 3rd time in a row. And now it will be Bryce Hewlett, who has hit 2 balls hard, a double, and then a line out to Bennett at shortstop. Well, it's a fairly well-rested Bucks bullpen. The only reliever that is likely unavailable is Robert Wiggleneck, who went 3 innings on Monday. We're going to have our second mound visit of the night for FSW as Derek Knatzner, the pitching coach, is heading out. And this is an interesting call for the FSW coaching staff. Moore's not going to go all 9 tonight, but he's got a chance to get through 7. And you know he is really tough. You're probably not going to get more than 1 or 2 more runs off of him. So I would be tempted to bring the infield in here, at least the corners. Because getting 2 outs in exchange for a run is still not ideal. Santos has the benefit of the lefty-lefty matchup here with the only lefty coming up in Hewlett. Kinch comes in at first. McAllister will stay even with the bag at third, and they'll try and turn 2 up the middle. Seems like a reasonable compromise, but SCF with a good chance to score if anything gets put in play here. Fastball just missed down and away, ball 1. They appeal and say no swing. Hewlett has a double. One of 2 doubles tonight for the Manatees, who now have 6 hits against Santos. Same pitch, same spot, same result. Ball just off the plate, and now Hewlett is in control. 2 balls, no strikes, and the bases are loaded. So there's nowhere to put him. He's the 3 hitter. And he can be selective. And he calls for time to step out. Hewlett, the sophomore from Lake Wales, Florida. 6'2", 195. And he swings through a breaking ball. A good one from Santos, 2-1. That is a gutsy pitch. With a 2-0 count to spin a breaking ball that has to be put in the zone. The pitch. Rolled towards shortstop, probably won't turn two. Bennett goes to second, and it's in time. Looked like he beat it out. But the Bucks get the call on the 6-4 fielder's choice. It's an RBI fielder's choice for Hewlett. Moore comes in to score, and it's 5-2.
The DH, Giovanni Lorenzo.
So men at the corners, 1 out for Lorenzo. I wonder if Dillingham's slide significantly slowed him down because he was right on top of the base when the ball got there, but maybe the foot was stuck in the mud, so to speak. That's a big break for FSW. Can get out of the inning now with a double play ball. First and third, 1 out, 1 run already in for the State College of Florida. And here is Lorenzo. Open stance from the right side, and he chops one to third. McAllister fields, goes to second for 1. The turn on the first double play. Buccaneers go around the horn. 5, 4, 3, and they get themselves out of the inning. Santos able to escape with just 1 run of damage. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 man left. We're halfway home from Fort Myers. It's the Manatees 5 and the Buccaneers 2.
Shortstop, Thomas Bennett.
John Vitas bringing you back to City of Palms Park here on a Wednesday night. 8, 9, and 1 coming up for the Bucks. Bennett, McAllister, and Solomon against the former Vanderbilt Commodore Aaron Brown. He's allowed just 3 hits, 1 run so far as Bennett takes inside. Well, we hope you're enjoying this ball game from wherever you might be. Hopefully somewhere warm and cozy. as Brown comes down the mound, and the fastball sails well high. Aaron about to throw his 60th pitch of the night. Santos at 69 through 5. So both these starters could probably give you 7 if you want it. 2-0 is outside for a ball. They've both been starters all season. Well stretched out at this point. This the 7th outing for both. The 3-0. Low, ball 4. Brown, who hardly walks anyone, has now issued 2 leadoff walks tonight. One in the second, did not hurt him. And now one here in the 5th. We'll see if this bites him. McAllister will be the hitter. He lined out to third his first time up, trying to make up for his tough defensive effort tonight. Bennett runs pretty well. There's a pickoff attempt right away. Terrific throw by Brown, made it close. Now this seems like the time that the Bucks might try and put something on. Maybe you wait a pitch or an out here, but Bennett can run. McAllister can handle the bat, although he swings through a high slider there, strike 1. Solomon and the leadoff guy, well, he is the leadoff guy. Solomon in the top of the order up after this. Not a huge lead for Bennett. The 0-1. In the dirt, skips away. Crouch could not handle it, and Bennett goes to second base. A helpful wild pitch for FSW. No one paying too much mind to Bennett. Second baseman Dillingham, maybe a step or two over, but not too concerned with him. The 1-1 is lifted out to right center, pretty shallow. Acosta towards the gap will make the catch. No tag from Bennett. McAllister retired, and that'll bring up Solomon. The former teammates facing off. They spent last year together in Nashville. Solomon doubled his first time up. Brown got him to ground out in the 3rd. This will be the tie-breaking battle between the two. Probably not the last time they face each other this year. The pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner, strike 1. Mikey Burke due up next. Bucks trying to get closer here in the home 5th inning. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Took a big rip at a high fastball and came up empty. Strike 2. Brown works from the first base side of the rubber, and he steps off. Solomon steps out in an 0-2 hole. Shifflett playing right behind Bennett now with the lefty at the plate in Solomon. And again, Brown steps off. Wonder if he's having some trouble seeing the signs here. He's ready, holds the glove at the stomach, and delivers. And this one's lined into right field. That's a base hit. Well, they're going to hold Bennett at 3rd as the throw comes in. Now Brown throws to first, and Solomon back in standing. Second hit of the night for Tyler Solomon, and the Bucks have men at the corners. Now on Saturday, we saw this situation a number of times, and the Bucks ran themselves out of 2 innings. With runners at 1st and 3rd and 2 outs, they got the runner on first base in an intentional pickle. And in both cases, the runner was tagged out before the run came in to score. In one case, the guy was tagged out at the plate. And in the other case, the guy was tagged out between 1st and 2nd before anybody could come across home. I don't think they'll be doing that here with 1 out and a very good hitter at the plate in Burke. So Solomon 2 for 3 against his old teammate. Now it's Burke's turn, and he takes one high for ball 1. Now we'll see if the Manatees start to get the bullpen going. We can't see who's warming up here. Both bullpens behind the fences. The 1-0 is up and in, and it hit him. Caught the front elbow. Brown is not happy. He thought that Burke leaned into it. He did not make much of an effort to get out of the way. And now we're going to get an argument from Tim Hill as well. But the ruling has been made. Burke is awarded first. And FSW's got the bases loaded and 1 out. Huge couple of battles coming up. Nate Kinch bats here, and Bagneski, who is red hot, is on deck. Manatees want a ground ball. Bucks could take a huge bite out of their 3-run deficit right here. The fate of Brown's outing comes down to this. First pitch. Fastball sits a little bit high, and Kinch gets ahead. 70 pitches now for Brown. The 1-0. Up and away, not even close, and Kinch is up 2-0. Crouch goes out to the mound. Oh, we've seen it time and time again this year. The Bucks have fallen behind by large margins, and they've been able to erase them. I believe there was a game earlier this year. They were down 8-1, and at one point cut it to a 2-run deficit. And they've won plenty of games this year in which they've trailed. I would say maybe about half of their 19 wins, they trailed at some point. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. So they are a resilient bunch. And they've oftentimes taken advantage of opportunities like this. The 2-1. Line towards the middle, could be 2. The flip to second, turn to first, double play. The Manatees escape a jam. Both teams with clutch double plays in the 5th. And the Bucks are held off the scoreboard. 6-4-3, Kinch is retired, and we'll move on to inning number 6. Buccaneers still trail by 3. We begin the 6th inning here in Fort Myers. The State College of Florida Manatee Sarasota leads it 5-2 as Josh Crouch, the catcher, starts it for them, and he pulls the first ball foul and 1. Rafael Santos back out there, 70 pitches deep, trying to keep the score where it is after allowing 1 run in the 5th. Only 2 of the 5 runs against him are earned. And he gets Crouch swinging over a breaking ball 0-2. This is just the second time all year that Santos has pitched into the 6th inning. And he bounces that pitch, no offer from Crouch. It was that 7-inning scoreless outing against Pasco Hernando. Other than that, Santos has completed 5 innings just 2 other times. And this is his 7th time out, the 1-2. Pulled to third. McAllister comes into backhand, collects himself, and fires a strike across the diamond for the out. 1 away, and that'll bring up Deneen. These teams will meet again on Friday at 6 o'clock in Bradenton. And then 3 games with South Florida State College. That one's low for a ball. That series goes Saturday, Monday, Wednesday. And then 3 with St. Petersburg College Friday, Saturday, Monday. So back-to-back games Friday and Saturday. Other than that, it's pretty much an every other day pattern throughout the month of March. That one's low for ball 2. Another Friday, Saturday back-to-back, the 22nd and 23rd against Hillsborough Community College. Fastball inside for ball 3 on Deneen. And we talked about it on Saturday, the way this division is constructed. There are a handful of divisions in the state of Florida, and this 6-team division that these 2 teams belong to is one of the toughest. 3-0 is poured in for a strike. Now, I mentioned that 4 of the 6 teams, the other 4 that you're not watching right now, are below 500. But we've been told to not let that deceive you. This one is pulled up the third base line. It stays fair. Tough play. McAllister got him. Close play at first. Deneen and the Manatees not happy. But a terrific play by McAllister for the second out of the 6th. And now we're going to get a more vehement argument from Coach Hill. Now, they thought they should have got a call in the previous inning on that force out at second. That one also very close. I think the one we just saw was bang, bang. Could have gone either way. But the one prior looked to be a bad call. And so when there isn't a makeup call on a bang, bang play, you get twice as perturbed. But give credit to McAllister, who has bounced back to make a couple good plays here in the 6th. Coach Hill still having his word with Matt Stanfield, and you see him pointing at second and first, saying, that's not the only play that I ran across the diamond for. He let the first one go, but he's letting Stanfield hear it on the second play. Now it's long with 2 outs and nobody on as he continues to have his voice be heard. But anyway, even though 4 of the 6 teams in this division have a losing record, and Coach Bezier said it to us after the game on Saturday that those 4 teams that are a couple games below 500 all stack their schedule with really tough opponents. So he expects to get quite a battle from every opponent they have the rest of the way. This one is hit sharply in the hole. That's a base hit for Nick Long. Goes the other way with a single. That'll bring up Tyler Acosta, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. He also scored in the 2nd. As the Manatees try and make something of the top of the 6th. And that might be it for Santos. Ben Bezier coming out of the dugout with Rafael sitting at 79 pitches. He will take the ball from his left-hander. 5 2/3 tonight for Rafael Santos. The defense betrayed him, And he is on the hook. He did battle, and he gets through 5 2/3. Pitching change in Fort Myers. We'll tell you about the new arm when we come back. You're watching FSW Baseball.
Now pitching for the Buccaneers, number 6, Mason Adams.
A 2-out runner on first situation here in the top of the 6th inning. Tyler Acosta is the hitter. First pitch to him is a good curve that he swings through for strike 1. So the final line as it stands for Rafael Santos, 5 2/3 innings, 5 runs, 2 of them earned on 7 hits. Curveball in for a strike. Morales pumps a throw to first, 0-2. Surprisingly, no strikeouts for Santos. 1 walk, 79 pitches over 5 2/3. And now it's the freshman in relief. Throw over to first, and back in diving is Long. So the 3 relievers we've seen now in conference play are all freshmen. Adams, who pitches here, becomes the first Bucks pitcher to get to 9 appearances this year. That one's in the dirt. Did he go around? No, says Stanfield. On Monday, Mark Davis and Robert Wiggleneck combined to go 4 scoreless innings to bring home the win for FSW. And now the 3rd freshman reliever comes in conference play, Mason Adams. Altogether, Adams is 3-0 with a save in 8 outings, an ERA of 3.68, 9 strikeouts and 4 walks in 14 2/3 innings. The runner goes, the pitch is low, and it gets away from Morales. Give a stolen base to Long. Adams has had a couple of tough outings, but aside from those 2, he has been lights out. Big curveball and a fastball that gets above 90 miles per hour. He is one of the young up-and-comers on this team, and Coach Knatzer said that he might be better than Ryan Gusto was a year ago. The 2-2 is pulled up the third baseline foul, and Gusto and Adams are a good comparison. They're similar in size. They both throw over 90. And he said at this time last year, Gusto was not as good as Adams is right now. And Gusto has worked really hard, and he's turned himself into a legitimate professional prospect. He's hit 94 miles an hour several times this year with a good breaking ball and good location. Gusto has been the best pitcher on the Bucs with a 0.69 ERA. And he thinks, or Coach Knatzer thinks, that Adams could be in line for that sort of a performance next year. But he gets him right here with a big curveball. Acosta turned away on strikes. Adams finishes off the top of the sixth. We'll head to the bottom of the inning after this. It's Manatees 5 and the Buccaneers 2. You're watching FSW Baseball.
Follow the Buccaneers on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at FSW Bucks.
Bottom of the sixth here in Fort Myers, and the middle third of Coach Beasier's batting order coming up. Down by 3, Connor Bagneski leads it off against his former team. Aaron Brown is out there, and the pitch is in the dirt for a ball. Bagneski redshirted last year at the State College of Florida. Did not play due to injury and transferred to FSW. He is from Wisconsin, and he takes a strike 1-1. He'll be headed back up to the Midwest next year. Bagneski is committed to Chicago State, a Division I team. The 1-1. Changeup on the outside corner for strike 2. Connor from Bayport High School. And clearly Chicago State had confidence in him without him having played a single college game before this year. That one's outside. He committed to that school before the season began, so they had obviously seen enough of him, whether it be in high school or in the fall, to show them that he was capable of hitting at the D1 level. Their bet has been correct because he can really rake. The 2-2 is on the corner. Brown paints the outside corner 3 times, and he freezes Bagneski for the first out. Strikeout number 4 tonight for Aaron Brown, who is now at 78 pitches with Marcano coming up. Marcano is the only Buccaneer that is yet to be retired by Brown. And he chops this ball foul. Jose walked and was stranded in the second, doubled and was stranded in the fourth. FSW has stranded 4 runners over the first 5. The 0-1. Rolled towards the hole, coming around it, the shortstop Shifflett. The tough throw, and he got him. Quick release at shortstop from Shane Shifflett. He guns down Marcano for out number 2. That was not an easy play. There are a few different ways to go about that play. Shifflett decided to just get rid of it as quickly as he could. He had some loft under that throw. He could have done the Derek Jeter jump throw. He also could have planted and taken his time on a stronger throw. This one's fouled back by Florentino, but he showed a very quick release there, and that's what got him the play. Nicely done by the Englewood native Shifflett. The 0-1. Spiked in the dirt. Even count on Florentino. Florentino went to Lido Tampa High School. He's originally from the Dominican Republic, a sophomore from La Vega. 6 foot, 200 pounds. The 1-1 to him. Bit high, 2 balls and a strike. Got to wonder if this is Brown's last inning. He's up to 83 pitches with 2 outs in the 6th. This one is drilled deep left field. Playable, though, for long. Florentino got under it just enough. He's got a couple long home runs this year, but just missed the barrel on that one. 1, 2, 3 go the Bucks in the 6th. An 11-pitch inning for Brown. We'll move on to the 7th. It's still 5-2 Manatees. Nine, 1, and 2 coming up for SCF Manatee Sarasota. Colin Moore greets Mason Adams to begin the 7th inning, and a fastball dents the inside corner, strike 1. Adams struck out Acosta to finish the 6th, now in his first full inning of work. And he bounces a fastball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Adams listed at 6 foot, 190. He is from Okeechobee, Florida. Mikey Burke is from Tulsa. The 1-1 is pulled up the third baseline, strike 2. These two teams have played very similar schedules. When you look at the opponents on the 2019 schedule, it's almost identical. I think there's only one team as this one is golfed out to deep left center. Florentino is there, and in left center field, he makes the grab for the first out. I think the only team that SCF has played that the Bucks have not is Eastern Florida State. Other than that, they've played all the same opponents. Chipola, Santa Fe, Central Florida, Pasco Hernando. I don't know about Gulf Coast State. That one is in for a strike, 0-1 to Shifflett. And both these teams have fared very well this year. SCF at 15-8, the Bucks at 19-3. Curveball fouled off, strike 2. Adams in a groove, and he tempted him with a letter-high fastball, but Shifflett is able to lay off of it. They both played Miami-Dade as well. Adams delivers. Just missed. Thought he had it at the knees. Brian Van Vraken says low. 2-2. Curveball again, just missed. Adams wanted it again, full count. Both these teams are nationally ranked. FSW in the national rankings for the first time in a while. Swing and a miss. Adams got him. Hard fastball retires Shifflett. 2 down. FSW is number 9 in the nation. SCF is number 19. As you might expect, tied for first with Polk State. All those teams 1-0. That's in for a strike. The postseason is determined strictly off conference record. So these are the games that matter more. The 0-1. Rolled out to shortstop, routine for Bennett. He reaches down to glove it and fires on to first to end the inning. A 1-2-3, 11-pitch 7th for Mason Adams. It's time to stretch in Fort Myers. Bucks trail by 3. Time is running out a bit on the Bucks. Bottom of the 7th, only 3 innings left to work with and down by 3. Most of the runs in this game came early. It was 4-1 after 2 innings. As Shamir Morales looks at strike 1 from Aaron Brown. Brown up to 85 pitches. He comes out for the 7th. He has been terrific. Having only allowed 4 hits, he bounces that pitch for ball 1. Brown's longest outing this year was indeed 7 innings. That was against Broward College. He struck out 10, gave up just 1 run in that game, as Morales pounds 1 foul, strike 2. Other than that 7-inning outing, he's gone no more than 5 1/3. So this is already his 2nd longest outing of the year, trying to tie his longest outing of the year. The 1-2. Fouled back by Shamir Morales. Bennett and McAllister will follow the bottom 3rd of the FSW order. Out of the line, the 1-2. Reached for, down the 3rd baseline, foul. All Brown showing signs that he can be a very good starting pitcher. 3rd time through the order, the Bucks are just 1 for 5 against him. And of course, FSW, one of the best teams in the country. The 1-2 is tomahawked foul and out of play. FSW averaging more than 7.5 runs per game. The 1-2. Runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the State College of Florida. 2 runs, 4 hits, and 4 errors for Florida Southwestern. Those 4 errors are the reason they're down 3. The 1-2 pitch. Again, launched foul on the right side. At the very least, Morales is working the pitch count. Has Brown over 90 pitches now. And now Morales takes some time. This one's rolled weakly out to short. Shifflett into charge. Waits a bit that time and slings it over to get Morales. Maybe had a little trouble getting the grip, but he makes the play, and there's 1 down. Now Thomas Bennett, who is 0 for 1 with a walk.
For the Bucks, now batting number 18. Warner.
Bucks have had we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Warner Rincones will bat for Thomas Bennett. Warner's not played in a little while. He's performed well when he's had the chance. Rincones batting .286 through 16 games. Did not play on Monday or Saturday. The pitch from Brown is in for a strike. So if Rincones stays in at shortstop, there'll be 2 shortstops in this game from the same town, Englewood, Florida. And that one's cued foul, strike 2. Rincones went to Lemon Bay High School. And the reason he's settled in that area is because his father, also named Warner, is the hitting coach for the Tampa Bay Rays rookie ball team, the Princeton Rays, which is located in West Virginia. That one's outside for a ball. But the Rays make their spring training home in Port Charlotte, which is the town right next to Englewood. And so because his dad is in Port Charlotte quite a bit, the Rincones family lives in Englewood. That one's fouled off. But Shane Shifflett is also from Englewood, and he and Rincones might be sharing shortstop next inning. The 2-2 in the dirt. Good take. Rincones with a couple doubles, 7 RBIs, 11 walks this year. Sporting a pretty nice on-base percentage. Payoff pitch is fouled back. We've got another pinch hitter on deck. Tommy Joseph is in the on-deck circle. The payoff again. Fouled off again. That time on the third base side. Well, with Kinch and Bagneski back from their minor to a full allotment of players for the Bucks, in JUCO baseball, you can only have a 26-man roster, and you're not allowed to replace anybody once you have your 26. So if guys start to get hurt, you are really shorthanded. This one's fouled off again. Rincones really working Brown, who is nearing 100 pitches. So now they're back to their usual 5 to 7 bench players. The 3-2 in the dirt. Or excuse me, that was the 2-2. Now it's 3-2. 5 true bench players for Coach Bezier, and then a couple guys who go both ways. Joseph on deck is one of them. The 3-2. High. Great at bat from Warner Rincones. A 10-pitch battle, and he earns himself a walk. And now Joseph will bat. Brown up to 102 pitches will stay in.
Tommy Joseph.
Joseph, a freshman and a switch hitter. Started real slow with the bat, but has picked it up. Has that average up to 245. And, of course, much higher than that in the last couple of weeks. Takes one on the outside corner at the knees, 0-1. We'll see if Brown can persevere here. Rincones has some speed. 4 stolen bases this year, as Joseph flies a changeup foul, strike 2. Infield hoping for another inning-ending double play. They got out of a massive jam in the 5th with that. The 0-2. High. Good take from Joseph. Leadoff man Solomon due up next. The pitch. Pulled to first, off the body of Hewlett and up in the air. Everybody is safe. Big break for the Bucks. There would have been a slight chance they could have turned 2 on that. Would have easily had 1 if Hewlett made the play. They will give Joseph credit for a base hit. He hit the ball very hard. Hewlett was handcuffed. So the Bucks will get the tying run to the plate here in the 7th. Coach Bezier pushing the right buttons. Both pinch hitters reach, and now Solomon comes to the dish, has the tying run, and he's tied for the team lead this season with 3 home runs. Pitching visit. Will that be all for Brown, who is up to 106 pitches for the evening? Solomon's got 2 knocks against him, and I think they're not going to let him face him again. Or maybe they are. They've yet to take the ball. Solomon is 2 for 3. Both base hits were struck hard. The entire infield in on this meeting, with FSW now up to 5 hits against Brown. And they're going to leave him in. He wants his college teammate for a 4th time. Again, these two played at Vanderbilt last year. Both saw some action as freshmen and came down to Florida JUCO baseball, where they will be draft eligible this June. And both certainly will have a chance to go. First and second, one out. Can FSW break through? Rinconis at second, Joseph the runner at first, Solomon the tying run. Fastball outside, 1-0. Brown set again. The 1-0. Spiked in the dirt and it gets away. That takes the double play possibility away. And there's runners at second and third. Rinconis 90 feet away. Joseph into scoring position. A fly ball, plates 1 if it's deep enough. A base hit could score 2. Brown comes home. Curveball well high, 3-0. Mikey Burke due up next. First base is open. They can let Solomon go if they want. I'm sure both bullpens are cranking. Conference play here in the Suncoast Conference. Solomon steps out. The pitch on the outside corner, strike 1. Now Tyler can wait for his pitch. Outfield as deep against him as anybody else. The 3-1. Missed low, tried to change up on 3-1. Solomon wisely taking, and the bases are loaded. And that will be it for Aaron Brown. The manager out of the dugout. Brown got his college teammate for a 4th time, and he walked him. Tying run is on. Go-ahead run coming to the plate for the Bucks when we come back. Mikey Burke will bat with the bases loaded and 1 out after this. You're watching FSW Baseball. Crucial point in the ball game. Bottom of the 7th, FSW trailing 5-2, but they've loaded the bases with only one out, and the batter is Mikey Burke. The new pitcher for SCF is left-hander Chris Holcomb, making his 8th appearance of the year. He's got an ERA of .377. He's ready. The first pitch is a fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Holcomb now tied for the team lead with 8 appearances, exactly 1 hit per inning. 16 strikeouts in 14 1/3. He's walked 9. Works on the third base side of the rubber. The tying run is Solomon at first. The 0-1. Fastball drilled out to deep right field. Deneen going back, cuts over, makes the catch. The front 2 runners tag, and the throw comes in. Opposite field, sacrifice fly for Mikey Burke, his 2nd RBI of the night, and it's 5-3.
First baseman, Nate Kinch.
Rincones scores. Joseph goes to third. Solomon remains at first. Runners at the corners with 2 outs now for Nate Kinch. Kinch 0 for 3. He's had a tough night. A strikeout and a double play ball. The double play came with the bases loaded and 1 out in the 5th. So a backbreaker at the time. FSW continuing to claw back at them. 5-3 the score. Here's the pitch. Fastball just a hair low, ball 1. Holcomb with a respectable ERA in the 3s, but he does have 2 losses this year, 0-2, with 1 save. The 1-0 is pulled to third. Backing up on it is Moore. Long throw to first, and Kinch beat it. RBI infield single for Nathan Kinch, and it's 5-4. Well, Moore had to wind up with a very long throw ahead of him. And he took just a bit too long. It was a good throw, but he had to give it a full wind up to first. And Kinch had just enough speed to get there. And now the tying run is in scoring position for Connor Bagneski. A base hit could tie it. It could also give him the lead. Bagneski 1 for 3. Left on left, first pitch is stroked into center field, a base hit. Solomon gets the wave. Acosta winds up. The throw is cut off. The tag at third, and Kinch is out. A game-tying 2-out RBI single for Connor Bagneski, and we are tied at 5. On to the 8th in Fort Myers. We've got a fresh ball game.
Thanks. Make sure you come back out to City of Palms Park this Saturday as the Bucks host South Florida State. First pitch at 1 p.m.
Eighth inning here in Fort Myers. We are tied at 5. The batter is Bryce Hewlett, 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the State College of Florida against right-handed reliever Mason Adams. Pitch from Adams is up and away, ball 1. Adams threw 1 in the third, 4 up, 4 down so far for the freshman. This game has a whole new feel to it. Dead even. They finally got to the SCF pitching staff. This one's flown foul, 1-1. They had a couple chances. Bucks were unable to take advantage, but finally there were 2 outs in the 7th. They played 3. And all of those runs were charged to the starter. The 1-1 is on the corner at the knee, strike 2. So the final line for Aaron Brown reads 5 runs, 4 earned on 5 hits over 6 1/3 as Adams takes care of the leadoff man. Hewlett down swinging for the first out. 4 strikeouts, 4 walks for Brown. The 2 walks in the 7th proved very costly. All in all, 111 pitches for Brown. 3 strikeouts in relief for Mason Adams. Here is Giovanni Lorenzo. Switch hitter will flip around and bat left-handed. Curveball flutters in for a strike. Well, they rode Wiggleneck for 3 on Monday. They might have similar thoughts in mind for Adams, who looks terrific. The 0-1, just off the plate with a heater. Again, he is up to 90 miles an hour plus and reinvigorated after watching his team plate 3. Curveball drops in, but ruled ball 2. That looked to be right there. But he falls behind. The righty delivers. There's another curve. That one found the bottom of the zone. 2-2. Adams delivers in the dirt, chested down by Morales, and the count runs full. Kinch is well off the bag at third. That's as close to a shift as you'll see for FSW, and Adams gets him. Another strikeout on that nasty breaking ball. 4 strikeouts already in relief for Mason Adams. He's gone 6 up, 6 down, and now dealing with Josh Crouch. This one's pulled foul over the third base coaching box, 0-1. Adams comes home. Curveball, swing and a miss. That pitch has been unhittable. 0-2. Just disappears at the end with that side-to-side and downward break. The 0-2 in the dirt, stopped by Morales. You may have heard those defensive changes announced. Tommy Joseph is now in left field. Tyler Solomon moves from left field to first base. The 1-2 hit sharply towards the middle. Backhanded beautifully by Rincones. Freshly into the game, and he makes the play. Backhanded play from Warner Rincones, and it's a 1-2-3, top of the 8th for Mason Adams. Takes care of the Manatees on 14 pitches. We'll head to the bottom of the frame after this. It's 5 apiece. You're watching FSW Buccaneer Baseball. Bottom of the 8th here at City of Palms Park. 5, 6, 7 coming up for the Bucks in a tie game. Left-hander Chris Holcomb back out there for SCF. Holcomb gave up a sac fly and 2 singles in the 7th. Jose Marcano leads it off for the Bucks. We have a pinch hitter in the on-deck circle. First pitch to Marcano. Fastball buzzes inside, ball 1. Drake Dobianski is in the on-deck circle to hit for Victor Florentino. Shamir Morales due up after that. The 1-0 is upstairs, ball 2. Holcomb throws pretty hard, but the Bucks have seen him well early, and it's a right-hand dominant order. And the fastball's pulled to third, played nicely by Moore. He's got time, and he fires over to Hewlett for the out. You could see that Marcano wanted time out there, and he, nor the home plate umpire, nor the catcher were ready, but Holcomb was, and he fired it with everybody just getting ready as the pitch was on its way. Marcano saw a fastball he liked, so he went for it and grounded out. Now it's Drake Dobianski set to pinch hit for Florentino. He can go out to center field after this, so it'll be a straight change all the way with Morales and then Rincones due up after this. Dobianski takes strike 1. He's had some of the most success of any Buccaneer hitter this year, hitting at .326 with a team best 17 RBIs. And he pops this one foul over the right side. He hasn't started that many games, about half, but he has made the most of the playing time. Dobianski, one of just 2 Bucks with 3 home runs this season. The pitch. Curveball in the dirt. Good take. Ball 1. The lefty winds. The 1-2. Fouled off on another fastball. So far, every substitute that Coach Bezier has put in has done something very productive. Rincones and Joseph both pinch hit in the 7th. They reached base and scored. Rincones made a good defensive play in the top of the 8th. Now it's Dobianski's turn. And he takes low to run the count even. The lefty fires. And it's popped up. Will it stay in play? Hewlett towards his dugout, and he will run out of room as it lands in the first row behind the dugout. First at bat for Drake Dobianski. He will see at least 7 pitches from Chris Holcomb. And now Drake asks for time. With Morales ready to go on deck. The 2-2 pitch. Pull towards third. To his left, Moore collects. The throw to first is in time. A couple of 5-3 putouts have Holcomb a pair of outs in the 8th. Morales the last chance in the 8th. The order in the 9th, if Morales is retired, looks a whole lot different than it would have, 8, 9, and 1. Because you have Rincones and Joseph ahead of Solomon. All of those guys are hot right now. The pitch to Morales. Outside, ball 1. And should Morales reach, it would be an interesting decision for Coach Bezier whether he would pinch run or not. The 1-0. Outside ball 2. You've already used 3 of your best bench players. Dobianski would have been your best chance at a stolen base. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I would bet that they would not pinch run if Morales reaches, but it's a tough call. This one's fouled back 2-1. Of course, he would be the winning run, but there are 2 outs. Holcomb delivers. And the fastball catches the top of the zone, strike 2. Holcomb winds the pitch. In there, called strike 3. Morales thought it was high. Same spot as the prior offering, and Holcomb works himself a 1-2-3/8. On to the 9th in Fort Myers. 5-all. You're watching JUCO Baseball. Max Dineen is the leadoff man for the State College of Florida. Both teams now with 5 runs on 7 hits for the night as Mason Adams goes back to the bump for FSW. First pitch curve in there for strike 1. This is the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for SCF. Long and Acosta due up after this, as another sweeper is low for a ball. Adams pitching in back of Rafael Santos, who went 5 2/3 tonight. The 1-1 just missed high on a fastball. Santos allowed 2 earned over 5 2/3. Adams has had it the rest of the way. This one is launched foul on the right side, strike 2. Plenty of options in that bullpen for Coach Bezier, but the way Mason has looked, no reason to go anywhere else. The 2-2. Curve ball lined out to right. Going back is Burke. He's got it lined up, and he makes the catch. Dineen was sitting on the curve ball, and he squared it up, but Burke was able to get there for the first out. Important out number 1. Now it'll be long. In case you're wondering, SCF does have 17 home runs this year. Long has 1 of them. Swing and a miss. Look foolish on a breaking ball, strike 1. The man on deck is Tyler Acosta. He has 1 home run as well. Adams does not want to see Colin Moore, who's due up fourth in the inning. The 0-1. Beautiful breaking ball to get ahead, strike two. Adams has been almost perfect with that pitch. Another 0-2. Swing and a miss. A wipeout hook from Mason Adams, who has 5 strikeouts in relief. It looks like he hasn't even broke a sweat. Cool, calm, and collected, the freshman has come into a tight game and has answered the bell. Here is Tyler Acosta, the last chance for SCF in the 9th. Breaking ball got him swinging 0-1. No reason for Morales to call anything different. The curve has been lights out. Strike two, another curveball. The downward tilt on that is vicious. It is late and it is firm. The 0-2. Bounced a pitch. Not sure what that was. No offer, though. 43 pitches now in relief for Mason Adams. He's used to going multiple innings, but definitely being stretched here tonight. The 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Another nasty curveball from Mason Adams, who has 6 strikeouts through 3 1/3 perfect innings of relief. Bucks will try and walk off with a series win when we come back. You're watching FSW Baseball. Tie game, bottom of the 9th. Warner Rincones will lead it off for FSW. Chris Holcomb back out there for the Manatees. Through 1 2/3, worked a 1-2-3/8. The righty Rincones ready, and he takes a fastball in the inside corner for strike one. Tommy Joseph and Tyler Solomon, a couple switch hitters, due up after Rincones. The lefty fires. Fastball stroke towards the middle. Diving attempt by Dillingham, and it's under his glove. A leadoff single for Warner Rincones, and the winning run is on to start the 9th. Now it'll be Joseph who flips around to bad righty. Reached on an infield single as a lefty in the 7th. Do you bunt here? Solomon on deck is a good right-handed hitter. Then Burke after that has a flair for the dramatic. He's got 2 RBIs already today. There's got to be the temptation to lay one down with Joseph. Rincones represents the victory at first. He takes his lead. Joseph set to swing, and he watches one upstairs for ball one. Coach Bezier calling the shots from the first base coaching box with Derek Knatzer at third. And now Bezier calling Joseph over as he tries to make a decision. It's a really tough call. I think more often than not, you would see college coaches bunt in this scenario with your top two hitters in the order due up next. Joseph, though, has been swinging it well. And I think Coach Bezier may be changing the game plan here, but trying to tell Joseph that he still believes in his hitting. We'll see what they do on 1-0. He's ready to swing, and he watches one in the dirt, ball two. The lefty comes home. Fastball sits high. 3 balls and no strikes. You can bet Joseph will be taking all the way here. Well, Solomon and Burke licking their chops. Can't wait to get to the plate. They're both in the on-deck circle. The 3-0. Right down the middle, strike one. Lefty ready. The 3-1 is fouled off. Looked like a strike. Joseph fouls it off the right side to run the count full. Do you think about putting the runner in motion here? 3-2, nobody out. The payoff. Low for ball 4. Rincones was running, and Joseph wisely takes the pitch. First and second, nobody out. With the way Solomon's been swinging, and I think you have to let him swing, even though you could push the winning run 90 feet away. And now we're going to get a visit on the mound with Holcomb in major trouble. And we're going to get a substitution here. Holcomb is done. A pitcher comes out of the dugout in this situation. It's going to be number 4, Josh Beninge. Their best reliever is coming into the game to try and save it for SCF. FSW with the winning run in scoring position and nobody out. We'll be back after this. John Vitas bringing you back live to City of Palms Park here in Fort Myers. FSW trying to clinch this 3-game series this week. They trailed 4-1 and 5-2. They've tied it 5-all, and they have the winning run at second base with nobody out. Rincones, the runner at second. Joseph, meaningless, at first. Tyler Solomon is the batter. He's 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored. The new pitcher is right-hander Josh Beninge, a redshirt sophomore from Sarasota. Beninge has not allowed a run all year. The first pitch to Solomon is in the dirt. Beautiful block by Crouch, 1-0. Rincones singled. Joseph walked. Chris Holcomb gave up 3 hits in an inning and 2/3, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 28 pitches. Beninge trying to get his team out of this inning and push us to extras. The 1-0 is popped up. A mile high to shortstop. Shifflett is under it. From the infield dirt, he makes the catch, 1 away. Big first out for Beninge. And now it'll be Mikey Burke. Kinch next, then Bagneski. Beninge has allowed just 7 hits in 13 and 1/3 innings. 18 strikeouts against only 4 walks. He's been their best pitcher all year. 3 saves and a record of 2-0. Technically cannot get a save here, but it feels like he would save the day. Here is Mikey Burke. And a pitch to him is a curveball in for strike 1. Burke officially 0 for 2, but he's had a pretty solid day at the plate. An RBI ground out in the first, hit by a pitch in the 5th, and a sacrifice fly in the 7th. He's driven in 2 of the 5 FSW runs. The 0-1 in the dirt. Another beautiful stop by Crouch. The count evens. Rincones and Joseph there both took a couple of jab steps towards the next base. Not sure if they were trying to distract either Beninge or the catcher, but they were a little bit antsy in unison there. Of course, the middle pinched together looking for the inning-ending ground ball. Right-hander set, looks at the lead runner. The 1-1. In the dirt again, and another perfect stop by the catcher. For the first time tonight, the Bucks are out-hitting SCF, 8-7 right now. The 2-1. Fastball spiked down and away, ball 3. Burke can wait for his pitch. A walk would push the winning run 90 feet away. Nate Kinch, the Coastal Carolina transfer, is on deck. Right now, Solomon coming over to give him some advice. Solomon is the only man in the dugout that has seen this pitcher. Burke's driven in some big runs this year. This could be the biggest. The 3-1. Fastball chopped up the third baseline, foul. Got a pitch in her half that he wanted, but could not square it up, and now the count is full. Rincones continues to take his lead. Joseph playing it safe at first. The payoff pitch. Runners go, and it's in the dirt, ball 4. Outstanding take from Mikey Burke on a curveball that broke down and out of the zone. The bases are loaded, and Nate Kinch can walk us off with simply a fly ball. Outstanding at bat from Mikey Burke. Rincones to third. Joseph at second. No wiggle room whatsoever for Josh Beninge. The infield comes in for SCF. Burke at first. Kinch 1 for 4. Drove in a run with a single in the 7th. Fastball sits high, ball 1. The more patient the Bucks are, the more pressure it puts on the pitcher. Catcher has to be perfect as well. Short lead at third for Rincones. Moore is playing close to the line. And now Kinch calls for timeout. The 1-0. Fouled back. Kinch got a fastball he wanted. Couldn't square it up. Now it's a ball and a strike. Marcano is in the hole, but he knows he cannot bat in this inning. He's on the other side of the dugout with nothing on his head. Rooting on Kinch. The 1-1. In the dirt. What a take from Kinch on a vicious breaking ball. That was the pitch that Beninge wanted to get him to ground out on, or at least swing and miss. It was a nasty breaker, but Kinch was able to hold up at the last minute. Now he's ahead 2-1. Waiting for that fastball. The 2-1. Lined over second base. The Buccaneers win. Nate Kinch, a walk-off opposite field base hit. And FSW comes from behind to win in 9. They mob Nate Kinch in shallow right field. And FSW has a series victory against their top competition in the division. Your final score, Buccaneers 6, SCF 5. Kinch started the day 0 for 3, but his last 2 at-bats are 2 of the biggest APs of the night. An RBI single in the 7th with 2 outs, and a bases-loaded walk-off base hit in the 9th. FSW is 20-3. Looked like another breaking ball from Beninge. That one sat belt high, and Kinch with a little short stroke lined it over Dillingham to win the baseball game. The final line score, SCF 5 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors. FSW 6 runs on 9 hits and 4 errors. The Bucks trailed by as many as 3 runs. They did so for most of the ball game. A 3-run rally in the 7th tied it, and the walk-off base hit from Nate Kinch in the 9th wins it. Don't go anywhere. Ben Bezier, the skipper for the Bucks, is coming up to the broadcast booth momentarily to talk about what is probably the most important win of the year thus far for FSW. Not to be overlooked in this tremendous offensive rally, the dominant pitching performance put forth by Mason Adams, who goes 3 1/3 perfect to get the win. Adams strikes out 6 in 3 1/3. And he uses the curveball to absolutely handcuff the Manatees. And Adams gets the win. The loss goes to Chris Holcomb, who falls to 0-3. As the Manatees fall to 15-9 and 0-2 in the division. That's a heartbreaking loss if you're the Manatees. And for the Buccaneers, maybe the most satisfying win thus far. Again, the only record that matters in terms of postseason play is the division record. And right now the Bucks are 2-0. So they sit atop the division at 2-0. Offensively, the Bucks came alive late. They finished with 9 hits. And 5 of those 9 hits came in the final 3 innings. As they get Holcomb for 3 hits and Beninge for that one big one in the 9th. They also got a hit in the 7th against the starter Aaron Brown. Brown looked like he was going to get a win in this game, went 6 and a third, giving up 5 runs and 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks for Brown, 111 pitches as he gets a no decision. The line is not nearly as good as it should have been for Brown, as his ERA actually goes up a little bit from 4.4. Holcomb, though, was really the Achilles heel if you're going to blame any one person for the Manatees, because he gave up 3 inherited runs in the 7th, and then he gets charged with the decisive run in the 9th, and Holcomb falls to 0-3 as the loser in this matchup. Beninge did everything he possibly could to keep this game going in the 9th inning. Got that big out from Solomon, and then really battled with Burke before Kinch finally got him with that clutch base hit. But we're going to talk to Coach Bezier about all the different moves he made in the 9th inning. Or rather in the 7th inning, because he brought in 3 bench players in this game, and 2 of them proved to be absolutely instrumental in this massive comeback. And he is about to jump in our booth right now as the skipper of the Bucks sees his team get to 20-3 tonight and 2-0 in conference play, which is the critical part. Offensively, Tyler Solomon was the only Buck to get on base 3 times. Solomon finished 2 for 4 with a walk and a couple runs scored, as we welcome in the head coach of FSW, the number 9 team in the country, Ben Bezier. Coach, probably the most exciting, satisfying win you've had so far?
For the players, yeah. For the players, yes. I'm sure they were excited. But for us, it's just, it was another win. It was a little bit of a different way that we won the game tonight, because we haven't made 4 errors, it feels like, in the last 4 weeks. And, we just struggled with routine plays today, and that's what, sort of made it tough for us. But good thing was that we had just enough guys sort of hang in there, and then, we brought in Rincones and Joseph and Dobianski off the bench, and combined they had 5 at-bats. And those were the at-bats that won the game. Even though Dobianski didn't get on base, he had a really, really good at-bat against that kid. And what happened there was that he gave everybody a really good opportunity to see what that guy was going to do. And Rincones and Joseph, those were just 2. They started the rally. They started both rallies. They came off the bench and won us the game, and that's one of the things I preach to these guys about all the time. It looked like, I sort of was just like, hey, throw these guys in there, and then all of a sudden, boom, that happens. But we really, preach that, just because, everybody plays all the time anyways. So there's never a moment or a time where guys are like, oh, I'm not playing, or nobody gets concerned because I just play everybody. So really it doesn't matter where you start the game. We had some guys that started the game that had some struggles. We're going to go right back to them, and that's just how we do it. And when they're on the bench, they're ready to go, when somebody else is having a tough night. And, one of the things that, we feel we have a lot of confidence in is that we kind of we know our guys so well that we're starting to get to the point where we can just look at a guy and go, I like this matchup here. And next thing you know, it works out, and maybe we're just getting lucky. That could be the case, but it seems to be working okay.
What do you see specifically? Because that really was the difference in the game late. The errors obviously hurt you early, but then Rincones and Joseph on base in all 4 of their plate appearances in that exact spot against the starter in the 7th. What do you see with Rincones and Joseph there that makes you believe that that's the exact right moment to bring those guys into the game?
I was waiting. I was sitting there waiting for the right moment. And actually, I had talked to the 2 of them, and I had kind of laid out a complex story to them, and I said, look, if Shamir gets on base, Tommy, you're going to hit first, and then Warner will hit second. And if Shamir doesn't get on base, Warner, you'll go ahead and hit first, and Tommy will hit behind him. And just the thought process behind that was that, Shamir is going to need a bigger ball to get to third base. And if Shamir didn't get on, I want to put Rincones in there because, he's more of a runner, so I didn't want to kind of have Tommy clog him up. Or not that Tommy can't run, but Warner's one of our better guys on the base paths. So basically the thought process was just simply we knew that Holcomb was coming. We knew the two guys they had coming behind. We had prepped. We had a pretty good scouting report on them. So I felt like those two guys had seen enough from the bench, and guys were coming back in and filling guys in. And with Warner, really I just knew Warner was going to give me a good at-bat against that first guy. I really liked Warner against the lefty, Holcomb. But I knew Warner was just going to give me a good at-bat. And in that moment against Brown, we needed somebody to just go in and have a really good at-bat. And what happened was Shamir ended up fouling off a ton of pitches, and then Rincones came in after a 10-pitch at-bat, and Rincones had a very tough at-bat, and Rincones was battling. And so really the reason I put Rincones there was just because I wanted somebody that was just going to not be an out, not be an out that was going to happen right away. I knew Warner was going to give me quality in that spot. And then Tommy, we felt like the changeup was kind of fading. So we felt like if we could get Tommy in there and that changeup kind of faded a little bit, if he tried to throw it to Tommy, Tommy was going to be able to put a move on it. And, sure enough, Tommy just absolutely ripped that ball. I don't know if that ball was scored an error or not, but I was standing right next to that guy, and he didn't have a chance. I mean, that ball was absolutely tattooed. And, so there you have it, and Drake was, honestly, with Drake, it was kind of the same idea. Was just I knew Drake was going to give us a good AB against Holcomb as well. And, it's just one of those weird things. It's such a weird thing to be in that dugout. Even when it was 5-2, even when it was 4-1, they all still thought they were going to win. There was no doubt in that dugout. And when we came in for the ninth, Mason Adams was incredible. But when we came in for the ninth, it wasn't like rah-rah. It wasn't, hey, let's go do this. It was just who's going to be the first one to get on base, and who's going to be the one that's going to, drive him in. And that was it. And it's nice when you have that thought process when you're kind of like, and we're not a front-running team, obviously. You can tell, we can claw our way back into games and just sort of hold serve. So many big moments in that game where you don't even think about early on. You don't even think about. But then when you replay it back, you're like, what a big spot that was, after a mistake that we made, or like Santos picked that guy off at first and Kinch threw it into left. Santos, buckled up and wiggled out. They had bases loaded with nobody out, and Santos got out of it with one. Santos I thought our pitching staff tonight, Santos and Adams, were absolutely tremendous. They were so tough in there. They made some mistakes. They didn't hang in there. They didn't, they just battled, and it was awesome. What a great job by those two kids. I was really, really proud. There was just a lot of individual performances tonight that I was really proud of.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about Mason Adams, who maybe had the most impressive individual performance, 6 strikeouts and 3 1/3 perfect innings of relief, and it seemed like he was hardly putting forth any physical exertion out there. He was just locked in the zone. And he's had a couple outings like that this year, and then he's had a few that didn't go well. What was so special about tonight that he was able to just mow through their order?
Yeah, I mean, that's the best. That's the best you've seen him, right? Yeah, that's the best I've seen him too. He had that fastball going. And really, he has the curveball most of the time. But when he has that fastball with it, what are you supposed to do against that? I mean, because he located it in the zone, he located it at the bottom of the zone, and he located it in the dirt, and then he had the fastball in and up. When he has all of those things, when he has those 5 things, there's honestly, I don't know I would not want to face that guy, because he can get in on your hands, he can change your eye levels, put it upstairs on you, and then he can command it in 3 different spots, and it looks like a fastball coming out. So, man, Mason was he was so awesome tonight. I was really, really happy for him. And Wiggle Nick, we have 2 performances out of the pen. That's what it's all about for us. It's always what it's been about all year. Is Gusto gave us a really good start, Santos gave us a really good start, and then Wiggle Nick and Mason Adams just button down the hatches, because it's fun to watch.
You've had 3 freshman relievers. None of them have given up a run here in the first 2 conference games of the year. Friday, Saturday, one more game against this team. Ferreira and Myers on Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, we're gonna go with Ferrer Myers, and then we still have quite. There was a couple guys we liked tonight. We liked Rasher tonight. We like Madej a little bit in a couple different spots. Haggerty, we haven't gotten Haggerty out there. Feels like in forever. I think he threw on Saturday, but yeah, so we still feel really good about what we have. We still feel really good about where we're at, and also, going into their. I'm glad the game's at their place. I really am, because I just think that we need to continue. They think they're in a bad place right now. That's a tough one to take. They thought they had that game, and we knew we had it. It's kind of a tough thing to deal with. But I'm glad it's at their place, because I want our guys to go up there, and I want to really earn it. On Friday, because they're sort of going to be a little bit in desperation mode and trying to they're going to feel like they need to win. And it's such a fun opportunity for us to go up there and play. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Ben Beasy, your first-year head coach, getting the team out to a 20-3 start. Thanks for all the time tonight. We appreciate it.
Thanks, and hello again to everybody who's watching. Appreciate all your support.
There you have it. The Buccaneers with an exciting walk-off 6-5 win here in the second game against the State College of Florida this week, as the number 9 team in the nation, FSW, beats the number 19 team in the nation in SCF. Once again, your final score, the Buccaneers 6 and the Manatees 5. FSW is 20-3 and 2-0 in conference play. We thank you for tuning in tonight, and for everybody here at Florida Southwestern, I'm John Vitas saying have a good night. We'll see you on Saturday as the Bucs return home.